All right, and welcome to part four not part four, part three of I guess the boot camp series of my time there. Some funny events, some not so funny. I mean, this is the last sequence, so but by this time, um, you kind of really gain a respect for your drill instructors and the people around you, and you're a lean, mean cruising machine. Week four starts with some land nav, and land nav is really not that bad. But there's two parts. There's a day part. There's a night part to go on. So this is all part of Warrior Week, and to give you some background, so Warrior Week, you do a lot of you do some night training, you do some day training, you do some real low level basic level training and weapon drills, but nothing nothing people expect from combat, right? You're not there. You can see these recruits in the picture here. I mean, this is pretty much what it looked like. And this is definitely 100% Paris Island. It is. So this is kind of what we had to deal with. They have a list of points they got to go on. You have your compass. You have your moonbeam, which is your flashlight. Because part of the whole boot camp process is your entire vocabulary changes. You no longer have glasses. You have portholes. You no longer use the bathroom or the restroom. You go to the head. Like, it's all part of the indoctrination problem. But by the time you're phase 3, like, you're lock, pop, and drop. Like, it's hard to describe just the transformation when you go from just being the nasty, disgusting recruit and civilian to by the time you hit phase 3. And phase 3, like, you're starting to look good. You're starting to, like, move as a team. Like, everyone just knows what they need to do and make it happen. So land nav starts, and this is the first time I've had caffeine since, like, gosh, I don't know, like, maybe since it started, like anyone, right? So me and my rack mate, his name was Kwaska. Beautiful Polish name. It's like K and W and a bunch of Z's. Anyway, so we were eating, and we had like a break from MRE. So he's like, "Hey, I got these peppermints." So we take the peppermints. We didn't know they had caffeine in them. So like we're like bouncing off the walls. We're just like jittering all around. And then another Marine's like, "Hey there, Scrab. Well, you two sure look different." And this guy was a good old boy from Georgia. And I'm like, "Wait, what are you talking about? We're fine, right?" Kwaskin called, "Yeah, we're good. We're not. Nothing's different about us. We're fine. Yeah, we're fine." so wanders off, and it says me and Kwaska now. So me and Kwaska, we're traveling around the woods, and we're doing our land nav, going throughout all of it, and like land nav is well, you're gonna do it regardless of the weather. How about that? We ended up having a pretty good night or day. Night was a bit of a different story, but we'll come to that. And we're going through our drills, and we're going through the test points. And the way they test you is you go out to these different locations, and you line yourselves up. So like you had me and Kwaska. Look at these recruits with their new stuff. My stuff looked like it was from like the Vietnam War. And these guys, and they had the ACOG. I had the old iron sights. But anyways, so like we would line up. They're backwards. He should be behind him, and then he gives he counts off the paces and makes sure they're on direction and go. So we ended up being a nice little time in the woods. Nothing really happened to us in there. Everybody got back in time, but that was the day. That's how the day went. So you might be guessing that things went different at night. So I didn't have Kwaska anymore. I had I don't remember who I remember who he looks like, but I don't remember his name. So I'll call him Chaplin because me and Chap, because he was a very religious guy. So we were working out at night, and we had to do the land nav. Now, if you notice from the earlier picture, they had moonbeams, aka they had the flashlights. Our platoon was not allowed to use flashlights. And they're like, "Don't worry, the compasses glow." And let me tell you, in the middle of the night, when there's no moon out and it's cloudy, you don't see shit. So we have to go across this night nav course in the middle of the dark, and recruits are bumping into each other and making noise. And I remember one time, like Chap like got away, and I'm crawling around, and then I hear something like, I'm like, oh, fuck me. This is already. So I get down low. So I get down, and I get down low, and like I notice it out of the darkness. Is a drill instructor, and I know which one it is. He's our kill hat, and so apparently, and we found out this later, all the kill hats whose sole job is just to slay recruits are going. So I'm just over here, and like I see Chap, and Chap sees what's going on, but he's like behind. He's like behind him. So we're split. I don't remember how we ended up that way. I mean, it's middle of the night. It's easy to get lost. So we're split between the two. So Chap's over here. I'm over here. I'm prone. He goes prone, and like slow because he's looking my direction. I'm just not moving. So he starts crawling across, and I can't move. Then when he turns around, looks the other way, I sneak off, and then like I didn't get too far. I only made like a crawl to, but Chap managed to like sneak off. But then another recruit just kind of like just steps on a twig, and he's like, because I don't think they're supposed to be out there, but he's like, oh, I got you, bitch. I'm like, oh shit. Hey, but he's whispering. He's like, oh, I got you, bitch. Now I got you now. And he's like, sir. And he goes to yell like, shh, don't say anything, don't say anything. And he's like, burpees. So the guy's doing burpees. He's just doing burpees. And he's like, like push-ups or whatever it was that he was doing. Like, oh shit. And as soon as he starts giving command, I'm like, I'm out of here. Fuck this. This is not what I'm doing. This is not what I'm about. I'm not getting involved in any of these shenanigans. But so like at night, so at the entire time you're going through, and all these recruits are like hiding, and there's just like these roaming death squad of drill instructors looking around trying to find. And if you don't move, like it's the middle of the night and you're wearing camouflage, as long as you don't move, you're safe. You're safe. But the problem is you have an X amount of time to finish the course, and they're there because they want you to fail, and they want you to go. Well, it ends up turning out that not any of us, all of us failed, because we were supposed to have our like a little moonbeams with a little infrared on it, or a red filter on it, so we could see what was going on. But like, they're like, that ain't happening. Like we're not doing that. So we just ended up wandering around the woods for like 2-3 hours, just trying to find it. They had some salty corporal that was there, like, he just worked in the S3, like the training section, and he was just like, no, you failed. This group failed. Like everyone failed. I don't think a single group made it out. So that was the two nights test. Then we have testing week. So we have a lot of testing we have to do, just to go out through the process. And you can see here, I think this is Parasite. I don't think this is Parasite. I think this is San Diego, because the building's a little different in Paris Island. But you can see like all the recruits here. Oh my god, look at this nasty butt sleeve. Oh, this guy. He's okay. Look, his is good. This guy's a nasty butt. He probably fucked up somewhere and got that. So like already you can see I'm snapping into location, because you want it tight. You want your biceps popping. Maybe one day I'll teach you guys how to roll sleeves. But anyways, we take those tests. I was the scribe, so me and the scribble, like my assistant, we had to take a test. Now, what this happened, we ended up pissing off all the drill instructors. Not our drill instructor. Our drill instructor, we're all sitting in the squad bay, and our drill instructor's like, you listen up. You got 45 minutes to take this test, and you will use all 45 minutes. Do you understand? Sir, yes, sir. I didn't hear you. And then, we go back and we scream back and forth so we can't hear anymore. He's like, you're going to use all 45 minutes. So day of the test comes in. And then you got the drill instructor down in the front, and we're all sitting up high in the bleachers, and we're taking our tests, and he's like, you got 10 minutes, you got 15 minutes. And the other platoons, they're cycling out. Our platoon is just sitting there. All of us are finished, but we're not moving. And the drill instructor's out here like, you're done with the test, come down. I told you to come down, and we're not moving. The kill hat has put the fear of God in us. We're not, but it's like 5 minutes before you have to turn in test, so I go down there. Because I have to collect the test, and I set everything up. And it's like 2 minutes to set the test, and my entire platoon stands up, walks down, hands in their test, and walks out. And like the other platoons were waiting on us. They all had lined up and were ready to go and ready to leave. And then our entire platoon comes out, and you just you can see the other in this drill instructor's like, and the whole time he's just like, the one that like, God damn it, because he can't make us come down because we have 45 minutes to take the test. They can't fuck with us. So he's just like, just come, you're not going to pass. You either know it or you don't. Just come down. We're like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Anyways, they eventually go out there. I had to help grade the tests and do a couple of other things. So, we tally the points while the rest of the platoon just kind of screws around. There's other moments, but I don't want to give anything else away. But we really get down to kind of the heart of Phase 3. And the heart of Phase 3 is the Crucible. And you're asking me, like, what's the Crucible? Well, first, I know I got the wrong picture. That's how it starts. But we start with a hike. We start with a hike out there. And so this is the hike back as well. But you can start seeing, like, this is what we were carrying. We have this huge packs on us. We have our rifles with us. And we've already done 2 other hikes before this. And we've done we do a night hike, I think, in the Crucible. But it might have been before. It's, a lot of things happen. You can't, I can't make any promises. So we just get all out there. You can see the gentleman in the blue. That's the U.S. Navy chaplain. The chaplain, every hike, the chaplain comes out with us. He goes up and down the line. He motivates. He's, hey, recruits, you're going to do it. Motivate. I'm with you. Let's whatever kind of spiritual guidance people need is what you get. And I guess I'll go into it. Boot camp is a very spiritual experience, and I'll talk to that towards the end. So we hike out there. I think it's the 5-mile hike, and we do a 9-mile hike back. Please don't quote me on the numbers. I don't remember. So we go, and the first day we go, we get the hike, and everyone's broken off into platoons. Or squads. I was the first squad leader for first squad, and it changes for each event. So you'll be a squad leader for like 6 hours, and the next guy's squad leader, and it's kind of spread around the love. And so we start with. We start with the start of the Crucible. Now, I had the Battle of Tarawa as our first event. And you can see here, this is actually the Battle of Tarawa. But what you don't see is this is like, I would say, a football or soccer field's length. And it's nothing but barbed wire and sand and other shit. Now, to get an idea, when I started boot camp, I was 173. At the end of boot camp, I was 155 pounds. And the scribble, who was with me in my platoon, he was 145. And so the entire time, you're low crawling. You can't get up. If anyone, like how high her head is off the ground, she'd be dead. She'd be dead. She'd be killed. And we would have to drag her. Like, this is not a pleasant experience. So everyone, except for me and the scribble, end up being casualties. And the next smallest guy in our squad was 145. That's... To give you an idea, or not 145, his 185. That's almost 20 kilogram difference between me and the next guy. It's substantial. Maybe 15 kilograms. And they were all big boys. They were all big. And we had, because you start with the ammo can, and as you get to each wall and have to traverse it, you get more and more shit that you just have to add up. So you have your, because you're locked into there, engaged. You have to get under the wire. You have to hold it up. Everyone has to get underneath, and you're just pushing it, and you're just making it happen. You got to use your rifles and your A-frames to push that up, and you got to go. I got hit in the face with the A-frame. The A-frame is this little piece right here. You see next to the little mouse. I got hit in the teeth, so one of my teeth is permanently chipped from it. And the entire time they're playing the battle sounds from Saving Private Ryan. So it's just machine gun fire, and you're just going, and me and the scribble, we're going through, and we're just dragging people, and we're just because we got to get low to the ground, otherwise we get shot. So we're like this, just like Jesus Christ, this sucks, because everyone has to go together, and so it's me and him, 1, 2, pull, 1, 2, pull, and we're just, it's just all right, 1, 2, and pull, and we shuffle up. 1, 2, pull, and we shuffle up. And they also have water jugs filled with concrete that we also have to pull. And we have our belts off, we have our gear off, and we're just trying to get everything up and go. So this is the first event, and we're dying. We're dying. But eventually, I think time runs out. No one finishes because like it's day one. The drill instructors are still ready to go, but there's all these other events that just happen, and I can't find a lot of high quality images of them, but I can like this event. This event actually takes everyone like forever, but it ended up taking we did it on day 3, and we was like, this is the easiest thing in the world. Like we were so tired on this event that I don't remember. One of our guys fell asleep. he was like in this guy's spot, and he fell asleep, and we're like, Rib Ron, and he's like, what? Rib Ron, Rib Ron, and he's like, eventually he's like, what? You have to keep going. And so we ended up just getting right over it. I mean, it was easy time. It was perfectly good, but like, oh my god, there's like this one area. There's this one area, and there's no pictures of it. So it's all these challenges, and if you go, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's just all these different challenges. So we're waiting for our senior drill instructor. We have our orders to do whatever, and I just see the drill instructor, boom, just out of nowhere. Like he comes around the corner, and he's like, "Ready, step," and his squad. This is a kill hat. His squad goes, "Step together, ready, step together," and like the fuck's going on? So we look over, and all I see is one recruit like this, right? And the second, all the other recruits are on top of him, or like on top of each other, being fireman carried around the entire complex. And he's just like, ready, step together. And they're just like, oh, they're just dying. And he had it set up so the smallest recruits are carrying the biggest ones. And I'm like, you're just looking at them, and I can see their eyes. And like in their eyes, they're just like, kill me, Gobbo. And I'm like, sucks to be you, buddy. Sucks to be you. But little did I know that I was on my way to Chinook Rescue. And Chinook Rescue was like, it was the hardest event for my squad. It was like, we met Jesus that day. And like, I'm an atheist, and I'm telling you, I met Jesus. And if you go, you will also meet Jesus at some point during the Crucible. It just happens. It doesn't matter what religion you are or who you are, you will meet Jesus. So we're going in there, and I couldn't find the event because, like I said, some of this you'll have to find out. So our senior drillers was like, "Hey, get in, sir," and we all get in, and we're inside this like mock-up of a Chinook helicopter. And this is what they had in Vietnam. And each Crucible event is a different battle that we fought through. So, for example, the first one is Battle of Tarawa. That's where like the Marines did an amphibious landing with their some tracked water vehicles. Another one we did is Battle of Belleau Woods, where the Marine Corps fought the German Army, and that's where the myth says that the Marine Corps gained the term Devil Dog. And in that event, it's the first time I got to fight someone my size, and I fucked that dude up. Like you get because you don't know what's happening. He's like, "Hey, this is Battle of Belleau Woods." Your drill instructor reads off the tablet, tells you about the history of it, and like, now go up there and you kill someone. All right, listen. If you punch anybody in the face or you knee or you kick, you're going to be put in the penalty box. But if you lose, you're going to wish you were in that penalty box. And we're like, sir. So we run off. We go down the path. I have all my gear on. I got my helmet on. I got my gloves on. And I'll get back to Chinook Rescue in a second. So, and Belleau Woods, like you can see in the background, it's not far probably from this position. It's all in the woods. And you run around and you run out. And you got a drill instructor there like, you, how much you weigh? Sir, this recruit weighs 155. And then this next recruit runs out, sir. Oh, this one, he's like, hey, how much you weigh? 185, whatever, fight. And you just go at it. You just punching each other. Pop, 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 pop. And like, I was taller than my opponent. I know how to box. So I just kept him at range. I sidestepped him. I lit him up. And up top, what you don't see until I realized later, you're fighting in like a wooden octagon that's about 8 feet high. And on top, you got drill instructors like giving the thumbs up to the thumbs down, saying if you got to keep fighting, and like you just got to keep fighting until you fight back. You got to keep fighting, and everyone fights for at least 5 minutes straight. Like you just got to keep throwing punches. Some people get sent in, and I remember our kill hat was like, before we went out, he's like, there's a recruit little, and he hated that motherfucker. He's like, you listen up. if any of you get up against Recruit Little, you better be best go in that fucking penalty box. You punch him right in the fucking face. And we're like, aye, sir. And somebody got Recruit Little. They got sent to the penalty box. But he's like, damn right you got sent to the penalty box. And he just leaves. Like, I mean, I guess I know you're getting things out of context. You would really have to be there to understand the full context of what's going on. Anyway, so back to Chinook Rescue. So we're given the mission, and the Chinook Rescue was in Vietnam. Chinook helicopters had been hit and downed, and the Marine squads were sent in to get in. And the one that you were on took fire. The whole time you're stopping your legs. You're stopping your legs. So you just have this. You're just making that sound effect. So you're trying to buy up to it. So he's reading the story. You're replicating the sounds of the helicopter, and then he starts they start banging on the walls, just going off and because you're taking enemy fire, and then he's like, go 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 go, and you get up and run, and we're just running out there, and this is like one of his later events because I wasn't a squad leader anymore, and it's like a half-mile stretch of my God, you could have told me it's 100 feet or 3 miles. I had no idea. I told you I met Jesus on this thing. It's like a quarter mile or half mile straight trail in the woods, and you have to get to the end of it. And the entire time you're quote unquote taking enemy fire. You're having to carry each other. You're having to drag each other. You're having to carry the equipment. You're having and then the drill serves like ambush right, or shots fired right, shots fired right, and then you guys scream contact right, and you immediately drop down. Anyone who didn't drop down fast enough is killed. And you gotta drag them for the next quarter mile or whatever event it is. And we just gotta keep going. And the drill instructors just on you the whole time. And this time the drill instructors aren't fucking with you. At least they weren't for me. I mean, that one squad definitely got fucked with. But our drill instructors this is what needs to happen. You gotta do this. And he's just getting out orders like, you're not moving fast enough. You have to move faster. People are dying. And he's just reinforcing it the whole time. I kind of lost my voice a little bit, so I can't quite do it. You're just it's hard to describe because we already did the 5 mile hike out there. I think it's 5 mile hike out there. This is our 4th or 5th event. I mean, we're running on fumes is what we're doing at this point. We're running on fumes, and we're dragging each other. We're moving each other. We get down to the last part. It's like, all right, there we are. Carry him back. I serve. So we carry. So they have the dummies. The dummies weigh probably between 60 and 80 pounds. And we're throwing them on top of each other, and we're just having to move down there, making it happen. And then, the drill sergeant's like, what was his name? Caldera, you've been shot. And Caldera's a big boy. Caldera's a big old Mexican boy. He was 185, but he was model looking. He was a beautiful man, beautiful human man. And he's like, Caldera, you've been shot in the legs. He's like, he's like, you gotta sell it. So Caldera is like, you need to scream. It's painful. So Caldera's just he's just, my leg. I just want to go home. Tears coming down his. And he really got into character. He's flailing, and we're like, we gotta, you gotta hold up, and we had to carry the gear and the stuff. So I think I'm carrying the dummy. And then, everyone else is getting their belt. They're having to carry, 4 men are carrying Caldera. I'm carrying the dummy. Another guy's having to carry the water jugs and supplies. And I think that's all of another person was injured, but he was one of the smaller guys. So we just threw him over our shoulders. And, we're still getting contact. He's still yelling, contact left. And contact left. And we got to get down. And, you didn't get down fast enough. The recruit Gobbo. Recruit Gobbo dies. And now we got to carry them. And then at one point, he's like, we see the chopper. We don't call them choppers in the Marine. We call them birds. And I probably should say that before I just start yelling birds out. The bird, you see the birds, it's taking off in 60 seconds, and it fires too heavy. And this is a real event that happened. So we, with all the gear that we had on our backs, sprinted a quarter mile. So 1 lap around the track with 60-pound gear. One guy he just threw Caldera over his shoulders. And just all 185 pounds of them. Some guys have the cement cans, and we just run. We get to it, and I was pretty tired. It was a rough time. it was a rough time had by, and I don't want to give too much of the Crucible away because the Crucible, it's an intimate moment. There's a reason why I picked this picture here for what was going on, and this is the time where the senior drill instructor, this is the first time they're not wearing the drill hats. We call them covers, but you can see here I've been using the drill hat here on the org, but they don't wear that anymore. They actually wear the 8-point. They're out there in their fatigues like you, and they're not wearing their drill belts. So and you have these moments where you sit down and they start telling you, little bits of history or how their lives has changed, and what your goals are and how to succeed, and you get little moments of reverity to sit down and eat. Now this guy on the left here, he needs to not point his rifle into the ground there because that's gonna fill it up there. So I don't want to give too much away about the Crucible, but I'm telling you, anyone who's been through it, you meet Jesus into it. And then finally at one point we do the night hike, and I guess we were moving too slow, and there's no pictures of it. We were moving too slow, so we ended up. The first quarter mile we did okay, but then the rest of it we ran, and it's a 3-mile run. So we ran full gear, all of our equipment 3 miles, just in the middle of the night, and the entire Crucible is 56 hours, and you get, I want to say 8 hours of sleep. It's fairly taxing to someone who's never done it before. So we finish up with the Crucible. We go through all these events, and we get to hike back. And the hike back, I think, is a 9-mile hike. And you can see here, it's a lot. And, this is when the drill instructors, they go through a change. They just kind of, you're going to get there. The chaplain comes out. The chaplain's motivating you. He was there in the Crucible. I saw him, but he didn't come by and talk to me. So you walk through it, and you have no idea where you are because you're just swamped up the entire time there. And at halfway point, you sit down and you rest. At the halfway point, you eat an apple, and you're like, "What is this apple?" And let me tell you, it is the best goddamn apple you will ever have. It was probably bought in bulk somewhere, but let me tell you, it is the best fucking apple I've ever had in my life. It is a spiritual moment. You eat the entire thing, corn, all. You will eat everything of that apple. It's just as people are eating the apple and crying. It's hard to describe. For those who have never been on, a 9-mile hike, and I'm not talking I'm out in the woods having a good time, because you got to keep a pace, and you have a minimum of 60 pounds of gear on you when you do this thing. It is a sweet spiritual moment for when it happens. But this is when it starts going down, and the drill instructors, they start calling cadence. They start, but it's after the apple. So once you come in, where you see them are where they are now, this is kind of the stretch where it goes. There's some abandoned housing, I think, and there's an old movie theater that's abandoned, and they start calling out some cadence. Now there's run cadences that go so you keep the cadence. So see if I still got it. I don't want to. If you have headphones in, you might want to back them up. So run cadence would be Lora, allora, Leo, lo, and then you kind of keep that cadence. So you'd be my grandmama was 92. She could PT better than you. And then you repeat it. So you go forward. But we're doing a high cadence. So we're out there, and they do so there's a slower version that one drill instructor did, everywhere we go, and then you repeat back, everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are. And you repeat it back, so we tell them. And then he broke it up and we're those boys from, what was it, 396? We're that boys from 396. And we go through, and it kind of gets there. But there's one cadence I really like, and I carried it on. It has to do with the drill, a recruiter. So it's a cadence I kept on, because to be a good non-commissioned officer, you need to have one really solid height cadence. You need one really solid drill cadence. But I'll go into that during Corporal's course, because this video is getting a little long. It's already up to 30 minutes. So I'll cover that in cadences in another time. So you're finally going through it all. And you finally reached out, and you're going through the EGA ceremony. And you might say, what's the EGA? Well, the EGA is the Eagle Globe and Anchor. You know, it's really like this is a very spiritual moment, and I picked the Marine, or because he's a Marine at this point. He's no longer a recruit, on the left and right because everyone it's like a funeral. Like everyone starts to break down. You've been going for 56 hours. You know, you've made it after this long hike. You stack your gear, and by then you've seen the transition from just being a nasty, disgusting recruit to now you're a Marine. You're locked. You're popped. Your uniforms are pressed, and this is the final thing you get before like you can complete the transition. Because when you first start, you have the camis on, you have tennis shoes on, or we call them go fasters. And then as it goes on, phase 1, you can put your boots on. Phase 2, you put your McMap belt on. And you just slowly go through. And phase 3, you put on your name tape. And then after the crucible, you get back, you take off your blouse, and you put on a new one, and it has U.S. Marine on it. But your drill instructors walk through the platoon, and they hand you the EGA. And everyone's silent. It's all done, and they congratulate you. And you can see like the Marine on the left here, you know, his hands are tattered and worn. You have blisters on everything, and it's a very spiritual moment, because I don't know how else to describe it. So you go through and you have a warrior's breakfast and a couple other things happen that go through that moment. And after then, it's the first time you finally go back to seeing your family. And there's really I don't have any real good graphics to show you for this. Like the first time your family sees you, the platoon goes out for a run, and you're in your PT uniform, and they're all there lined up for you. You go for a 3-mile run. They're calling cadence. You know, they're just calling that low right Leo. Stepping it out, and you just hitting it. And your family can't tell, they can't see it. They think they can, but you all look the same, and that's part of the spiritual process of becoming a Marine is you're no longer yourself, and you give up a lot of your civil liberties when you become a Marine, and you adopt a new personality. And anyone who really went into the Marines and kind of embraced it and wasn't just a shitbag, they've changed as a human being. After that, you change into your uniform, and they have family day where you spend your time with your family. My grandmother was having problems, so my mother was with her, but she came to the graduation ceremony. And maybe one day if I can find my books, I'll show you pictures of it if you guys want to see it. Maybe I'll post it in the Discord. So my dad was there, and we're in the same place. We have the what am I trying to say? We have like church services, and we're all there. And I didn't, the whole time I never cried. I kept it solid. Some people were bawling and having these things, but then when I saw my dad, the waterworks just came out. I was just so tired, and when I finally saw him, it just rolled off of me, because it was like finally I had completed the whole transition. My grandfather was the U.S. Marine. He was on Iwo Jima. My uncle, he was the United States Navy, and then on to me. I'm everyone in my family has served in the U.S. military, so it's just another, or every generation, not everyone, every generation we've had someone serve. So it's just this big moment, and I didn't know what to do. Like I'm with my dad, and we kind of go out and we did some stuff, and they had a little museum, and the only thing I can really say is, we have the big graduation ceremony, and you can look it up. And what's the movie? Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket. You can actually see the ceremony. But I actually got to meet good old Chesty, and you're like, who's Chesty, Gobbo? And Chesty is he's the mascot. You'll never know, but he was a little bulldog at the time. I think it was Chesty the 14th. He was just a little puppy, and he met me. Like me and my dad get to meet. It was his first day out being trained, and there you go. So that was my experiences in the Marines. I'll save some of the other ones for later. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great night or day. Or anyways, like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and share it if you enjoyed it more.